After deliberately ruining Todd's marathon preparations, Theo meets up with Sarah, James, Gemma, and Chesney at the tram stop and claims he knocked on Todd's door but got no answer, assuming he had already left. Todd later wakes up feeling dazed and disoriented, soon realizing in horror that he has completely missed the marathon. When Theo returns with his medal, Todd feels humiliated and avoids his friends. Theo manages to convince Todd to let him inside. As Todd breaks down over letting everyone down, Theo embraces him in an attempt to comfort him. Will Todd fall under Theo's control again? Meanwhile, Dev and Bernie come back from their trip, only to be disheartened when Mal shows up and casually reveals he plans to stay around for the foreseeable future. Elsewhere, Ben gathers the family to talk about Megan's pregnancy and her refusal to agree to a DNA test. When Will immediately defends her, Maggie reacts angrily and loses her temper. In another storyline, Adam informs Alya that the business is rapidly losing clients following the data breach. When Annie threatens to take her business elsewhere, Adam tries to keep her by offering a no-win, no-fee arrangement. Coronation Street and Emmerdale are set to undergo another major schedule change in the coming weeks, with both soaps airing rare Sunday episodes. The two long-running ITV dramas are usually fixtures of weekday evenings, but recent adjustments have led to several timetable changes. In 2 weeks' time, the schedule will become particularly unusual, starting on Sunday, 29th of March, when Emmerdale airs at 7 p.m., followed by Coronation Street at 7:30 p.m. This appears to compensate for episodes that were missed due to earlier disruptions. On Monday, 30th of March, both shows will return to their usual slots at 8 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. However, they will not be broadcast on Tuesday, 31st of March, as coverage of the England v Japan match takes over at 7 p.m. Normal scheduling resumes on Wednesday, the 1st of April, but further changes occur on Thursday, the 2nd of April, and Friday, 3rd of April. On these days, Emmerdale will air earlier at 7:30 p.m., with Coronation Street following at 8 p.m. due to extended episodes of Vera scheduled for later in the evening. These changes follow a wider shakeup introduced earlier in 2026, when ITV launched a new Soap Power Hour format. Under this system, each show airs for 30 minutes across 5 days a week, reducing overall weekly runtime and replacing the previous 6-episode format. The updated scheduling approach is designed to better suit modern viewing habits, offering audiences more flexibility through ITVX while keeping episodes concise and engaging. ITV has also suggested that shorter episodes allow for stronger pacing, clearer storytelling, and more satisfying conclusions. Overall, the adjustments are part of a long-term strategy aimed at maintaining the success and relevance of both programs in an increasingly competitive viewing landscape. Coronation Street confirms Megan Walsh's arrest in an early ITVX episode, marking the beginning of her downfall. The drama unfolds as Megan is finally taken into custody over her actions involving Will Driscoll. However, there are still doubts over whether she might manage to escape the consequences. In emotional scenes, Eva Price, Leanne Battersby, and Toya Battersby continue their efforts to ensure Megan faces justice following Sam Blakeman's recent revelations. Eva informs her partner Ben about the situation, revealing that Megan has been manipulating his teenage son for months. But when Ben confronts Will, he sticks to a rehearsed version of events, insisting that he had an unreturned crush and that Megan turned him down. As panic sets in, Will and Megan begin making plans to leave Weatherfield together. Their escape is cut short when Ben, Eva, Leanne, and Toya come together to report Megan to the police. Kit Green arrives at Weatherfield High and arrests Megan on suspicion of grooming, shocking her boyfriend Daniel Osborne, who immediately defends her. As events settle, questions remain over whether there is enough evidence to prove her guilt or if the case could collapse into one person's word against another's. The storyline is set to have wide-reaching consequences, with multiple characters reacting in different ways and several relationships expected to be affected. Eva remains fiercely protective of Will, while she, Leanne, and Toya stand united in their determination to protect their children. The plot also highlights Sam's growing role as he faces the challenges of school life while being at the center of such a serious situation. Eva's fiery retaliation unfolds in Coronation Street as Megan Walsh scrambles to escape. Tonight, the walls finally closed in on Megan, whose grooming of Will Driscoll was brought into the open. Megan first appeared in Weatherfield in 2025 as Will's sports coach, but it soon became apparent that her intentions were far more sinister, with the pair later becoming intimate on Will's 16th birthday. They tried desperately to keep their relationship secret, but Sam Blakeman uncovered the truth. Determined to protect her job, Megan targeted Sam, threatening him and even sabotaging his schoolwork to silence him. The pressure took a heavy toll on perfectionist Sam, who began misusing ADHD medication to cope with his studies. In recent scenes, he collapsed in the street after overusing the medication and was forced to admit his drug use to his parents. Leanne Battersby, however, suspected there was more to Sam's behavior than academic stress alone. Her concerns grew after witnessing a tense exchange between Sam and Megan at the hospital, where Megan tried once again to intimidate him into silence. Thankfully, Sam refused to comply. In tonight's episode, Sam finally told Leanne and Eva Price about Megan's relationship with Will and about her previous victim. Eva, who had known Megan the longest, was initially reluctant to believe the allegations and reassured Sam that he might have misunderstood. Fortunately, Leanne trusted him, and together with Toya Battersby, they confronted Megan. As expected, Megan broke down in tears, claiming Will had confessed a crush on her and kissed her, insisting she had rejected him. She defended her silence by saying she feared the revelation would jeopardize her career. Eva pretended to accept this explanation and sent her away. Privately, however, Eva confided to her sisters that she did not believe a word Megan said and was certain she had been abusing Will. Leanne and Toya asked what she intended to do next. Eva decided she would inform Ben Driscoll the following day, choosing not to ruin his St. Patrick's Day evening. While Leanne and Toya stressed the need to gather evidence to ensure Megan could not escape justice, Eva refused to use Will as bait, but promised they could all go to the police station after Ben had been notified. Unbeknownst to the trio, Megan was already plotting her escape. She met with Will, claiming she needed to leave immediately due to suspicion falling on her. Still believing in their so-called love, Will insisted on joining her. Although she agreed to take him along, it seems Megan would much rather flee alone. Will Eva and Ben manage to alert the authorities before Megan slips away? Coronation Street confirms that Sam Blakeman's nightmare isn't over yet in the Megan Walsh storyline. Even after finally revealing the truth about Megan to his family, Sam continues to face intense pressure. In Tuesday's episode, March 17, he told his stepmom Leanne that Megan had been grooming student Will. Will's stepmom, Eva, was present during the revelation, and although initially doubtful, Leanne reassured her that Sam was telling the truth. Later, Leanne, Eva, and Toya confronted Megan in the back room of the pub. Megan denied the allegations, claiming that Will had a crush on her and that she rejected him. The trio remained unconvinced and vowed to ensure Megan faced justice for her abuse. However, the road ahead will be far from smooth for both Sam and the trio. In scenes airing on Tuesday 24th of March and Thursday 26th of March, Daniel urges Sam to report everything to the police, insisting Megan deserves punishment. Meanwhile, Sam's friend Hope warns him that Daniel and Megan could be working together, advising him to keep quiet. Hope's warning leaves Sam feeling even more anxious and distrustful. Later in the week, he confides in Hope that he has thrown away his phone, fearing that Daniel might have been monitoring his emails and wanting to stay cautious. Sam's increasingly paranoid approach raises concerns about the additional strain he is placing on himself. A Coronation Street insider explained, "Daniel isn't known for manipulating kids, so Hope's advice is the worst thing she could have said to Sam. He's already been through so much, and now he starts to distrust those closest to him. When Hope discovers that Sam has thrown away his phone, will she realize her mistake and tell him to stop worrying?" Coronation Street is broadcast on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.